We have the art, and then we have the heart, which is definitely a mouthful. Mark I chose. Really like this. I flipped through it and I was like, this is so good. Simple, easy, great to use. Physics in high school. I did fail physics in high school. Physics was never my strong suit. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I'm Priscilla. I'm the owner of A Life Full of Simplicity. Today I'll be going through a book haul that I received. I have several books here next to me from Hay House that I would love to show on the channel. So I have them in different piles. So we have 2 books for spirituality. Then we have 4 books in divination or reading kind of realm. Then we have 4 in psychology, and then we have several journals. We have 5 journals to go through. So let's get into it and let's get started. So the first topic is going to be the spirituality of the things. So the first book I'm going to show here is Spirituality is for Everybody. This is 8 accessible, inclusive ways to connect with the divine when living with disability. This is by Allison V. Tompkins, who has a PhD. And of course, all of these are published by Hay House. They are all sent to me for review, so I did receive them from Hay House, and they will all be linked down below. Of course, as always with any Hay House video, all the links in the description box will be Amazon affiliate links. However, I do always recommend that you check out Hay House's website first and foremost, only because they have sales all the time and their sales are great. So definitely check out their website if you're interested in any of these books to see if there's anything on sale. So in the back, just a short little snippet. You don't need to kneel to pray, sit cross-legged to meditate, or speak aloud to use mantras. Spiritual practices are for everyone and in every body. So this retails for $17.99 in the US and $23.99 in Canada. Now, the author of this particular book is living with a disability. I believe in the back it says that she lives with, or she was born rather, with cerebral palsy. This is the author right here. And I personally do not live with a disability, but I thought this was a very interesting, just to give a read, just to have some understanding of what other people who do live with disabilities go through. So we have a table of contents here that goes through different topics within each chapter. So we have surrender, prayer, grace, synchronicity, meditation, gratitude, service, and connection. So we have 2 notes on language, the use of the word God, how to use this book, and then afterwards it goes into the introduction as well as the different topics here. We do have some exercises and prompts throughout the book, so there are activities and things that you can do. If you're a person with a disability, this is something that may very much interest you. And if you're not a person with a disability, this is something that maybe would be interesting to read. That way you can have an understanding of what it's like with someone or knowing someone who has a disability. So this was really interesting. I can't wait to read this and read more about the particular author's story, because I know that she goes into her own story within the book as well. Then we have Trust Your Vibes. This is a revised edition. This is by Sonia Choquette. It says, live an extraordinary life by using your intuitive intelligence. As I said, this is a revised edition. And this is like a woo-woo kind of a spiritual book. I don't really mind these. I find them very interesting. So I am interested to read this and see more what it's about. I do have her deck, which I actually really love. So let's take a look at the table of contents here. We have different parts. So we have We have a lot of like intuitive practice, it seems like. So we have beginning the basics, mind over matter, good vibrations, psychic sit-ups, creating your psychic support system, the intuitive advantage, take the high road, the art of intuitive living, and the heart of intuitive living, rather. We have the art and then we have the heart, which is definitely a mouthful. So we have an introduction, and it seems like we have different activities and things that we can do, as you see, woo-woo, which is very interesting. And I actually don't mind, like, getting to know your intuition is definitely something that's great, in my opinion. I think it's something that could be used very well in your own practice and tarot and everything. So I find this very interesting, and I'm definitely going to give it a chance and give it a read. I like this. Put the phone away. It's pretty good. We have some breathing exercises, some meditation. We have different exercises, some workouts, things to do with the mind, which is definitely interesting. So I'm excited to get into it and see what it's about. This retails for $16.99 in the US and $22.99 in Canada, in case you wanted to know that information. So yes, that's Trust Your Vibes. So next we'll go into the psychology realm. So we have the Enneagram Made Easy. Explore the 9 personality types of the Enneagram to open your heart, find joy, and discover your true self. Now the Enneagram is a personality, it's like a personality test, honestly, that is associated with kind of numerology in a way. And this is by Deborah Threadgill Egerton, who has a PhD, and it was also written with Lisi Mohandesi. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. You obviously have the different Enneagram types, which are associated with a type of archetype. This retails for $16.99 in the US and $22.99 in Canada. This is really interesting. I do love personality types, personality tests. I find it very interesting. It took me a while to find a test online that was completely free and would just give me my results. A lot of them are hit and miss, and sometimes they'll ask for a small price, like $1, $2, whatever, just so you can get your results, which what? No. Just tell me what I am, and that's all. And I don't want like the full report and going in detail, because what's the point when you have something like this, right? So this is very interesting. I am a 1 and an 8. Those are mine. So it goes through different things. So we have a chapter on history. We have the elements of the Enneagram. And then we have the body center, which is 8, 9, and 1. Then we have the heart center, which is 2, 3, and 4. And then the head center, which is 5, 6, and 7. So I fall mostly in this particular chapter for myself. I am both a challenger and an idealist. So yes, which is very interesting for me. And then, of course, you have different things, charts, exercises. That's the one thing that I really love about Hay House books, is that there's always things to do within them, which is very interesting. So, yes. And it seems like this is pretty easy to read. I like that the font is not too small, which is great for me. Don't have to strain the eyes. But you have a lot of things, not just text. You also have charts and stuff. So this is really fun. Now, there are journals that she created to go with this particular thing. Now, I was going to show them in the journal section, but since I'm talking about this particular book, I think I'm just going to show them now. So, obviously, there's 9 journals. I did not request to receive all 9 journals because I don't need all 9 journals. I requested the 2 Enneagram types that are for me, which is 1 and 8. So within this, you have different meditations, you have prompts within them, and you can, jot down. We have like the meditation, thing like that. Examples. There's different things that you can do for your particular type. So we have desires, we have fears, core motivation, we have passions and challenges, fixations and traps, virtues and gifts, and different things here to understand and know. So it's very interesting. This is the table of contents for number 1. And I'm pretty sure they're all structured mostly the same. Just for 8, yeah. The structure is pretty much the same. It just goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 9. So yes, and then there's prompts that you can do. Again, meditations, which is absolutely great. These are the kind of journals I like. And in my opinion, these kind of things is great for shadow work because you're also, in a way, learning more about yourself, but you're learning in a way to step out and challenge whatever thoughts and things that you have when it comes to, because like I said in the beginning, there's like challenges, there's fears, there's desires, and these are things that you would cover in my opinion, in like a shadow work type of realm. Like here, you know, basic desire, fears, core motivation, things like this. This is like very shadow work vibes. So this is definitely great in that sense. The next book that I wanted to show is this one here. It's How to Stop Breaking Your Own Heart. This is by Megan Roxanne, who's the founder of The Good Quote. Now, I have been following The Good Quote for a very long time, actually. So when I saw that this was releasing from Hay House, I thought it was very interesting, and I asked to receive a copy. I love self-help books like this, honestly. I love reading them. I find them very interesting, and as someone who has a degree in psychology, I find things like that, things like this in particular, very interesting to read and to educate myself on. So I did pick this up. This does retail for $17.99 in the US and $23.99 in Canada. And it's pretty much going about how to maintain healthy relationships, building a career, keeping up with the constant life admin, and prioritizing your well-being in that sense, and what happens like when life gets too much in a way. So let's check out the table of contents. So we have different parts, part 1, part 2, and part 3. So we have how we break our own hearts, how we start to heal our hearts, and then how we nurture and protect our hearts. And I'm excited to read this. I actually had a bookmark in here because I was actually going to start reading this. This is the bookmark I chose. It's like a 3D kind of thing. So yeah, so I am excited to start reading this because I do love stuff like this. I love that the font is large. I have not the best eye, so I don't like when fonts are small. I really like the quotes, quote pages. I like that there's a think, ask, do kind of thing. So it feels like there's kind of like activities and boundary setting and things that you can do throughout this book as well, which I really, really like. So I'm definitely excited to read this, and I can't wait to get into it. The next book that I have is more on boundaries, which, love it. Boundaries are great. We need to set boundaries. This definitely has more of a shadow work vibe for boundary setting. This is not really a book I would read cover to cover. This is something more that I would use as a reference. So it's called Say the Thing, Boundary Setting Scripts and Phrases to Communicate Directly and Speak Up with Kindness. This is by Cami Orange. This retails for $17.99 in the US and $22.99 in Canada. It's pretty much different scenarios. You have different things that you can use. There's different topics and things here that you can use, and there's like scripts that you can follow. If you're not sure how to set boundaries with particular people on specific subjects. And I really like this. I flipped through it and I was like, this is so good. You know, for someone who has a hard time setting boundaries, this is like the perfect thing to have on your shelf, in my opinion, because if you ever go through a situation or have gone through a situation that you just don't know how to handle, it can be difficult sometimes setting boundaries. So we have different things here, different topics within this particular kind of book, and there's like different scripts. So you'll get a question, you get different ways to answer, which is great. Here we have some different things. Young, you're just a baby. Are you even old enough to work here? You're too young to be tired, kind of thing. And sometimes questions like this are like uncomfortable, right? How old are you, kind of thing. And sometimes you don't know how to answer these kind of questions, or they make you uncomfortable. So here we go. We have, you know, different ways to answer that is just easier, makes things easier for you. Or some things here, that comments that you might think is rude to ask or very strange to ask. We have different responses then too. So that's very interesting. There's obviously some beginner introductory material in the beginning and things like that. So it's very interesting. Highly recommend if you have trouble setting boundaries. This could be like a lifesaver thing. I'm really happy that they published this because this is fantastic. Honestly, very fantastic. And I've definitely used a couple of the phrases in here already, so very good. Then lastly, for the psychology, I have here Get Quiet, 7 Simple Paths to the Truth of Who You Are. This is by Elaine Glass. This is retailed for $17.99 in the US and $23.99 in Canada. I haven't really taken a look too much about this, so I'm not really sure 100% but what this is. It's mostly, okay, so it's your guide to turn down the volume and tune into the voice of your soul. Very interesting. So let's take a look at the table of contents here. What do we have here? We have the beginning, Get Quiet, the Labyrinth. Part 2 is Healing, Get Living, Get Energized, Get Present, Get Rest. And then part 3 is Discovering. So get grounded, get excited, get inspired, get connected. Very interesting. Font is a bit smaller in this one, but I think I'll be okay. I think it's really about tuning out the noise of life and just being able to find yourself in all that noise. I feel like sometimes it can be hard in life and with work and everything for us to really tune things out and, you know, be one with ourselves. So I feel like that's really what this kind of book is probably going to be about. But I haven't read it yet, and I am excited to. I think it'll be very interesting. Anyway, for me anyway, because I love books like this. So, yes. Then moving into the witchcraft, astrology, divination kind of space of things, we have Cosmic Care, Astrology, Lunar Cycles, and Birth Charts for Self-Care and Empowerment. This is by Valerie Tejeda. Now, Valerie actually has an oracle deck coming out in the fall, or maybe it was in September. I don't know. She has an oracle deck coming out soon, an astrology one. I'm super excited for it. It was illustrated by the CEO and founder of Dreamy Moons. So I'm really excited for that. And again, this was one that I had a bookmark in that I was going to start. So I picked this one. I picked it because the tassel is red. So yes, this is very interesting. This retails for $16.99 in the US, $22.99 in Canada. This was on sale recently on Hay House's website, so it might still be on sale. I would definitely check if I were you, if this is something you are interested in. So it pretty much goes through the astrology and, you know, the different zodiac signs. So So you have the different chapters here. We also have lunar cycles and then birth charts towards the end. There's also an appendix on equinoxes and solstices, and an appendix for how to get set the energy rather in your space. So it's really interesting. We have like an introduction in the beginning. So let's take a look at Aries to see what we have here. So Aries talks about how it's like the beginning of the new year. We have a seasonal theme. We have a seasonal ritual. We have a seasonal meditation, affirmations, journal prompts. We have a card spread, which is really cool. We have some crystals for Aries season, herbs for Aries season. And then we have some correspondences. So a planet, which is Mars, the color, and the element. We have the modality, the symbol, the house, polarity sign, and then the tarot card. So very interesting, and I think it does that for literally all. Yeah, it does that for all of them. So you have different things. This can be used. You can read this cover to cover if you wanted to, or you could just read it based on your signs. Yeah, you can read it based on your signs, or again, you can read it cover to cover, especially if you're interested in astrology. This might be really interesting. Then we have some lunar cycles towards the end. So we have some stuff for the new moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, eclipses, the moon and the zodiac signs, and then we have birth chart stuff at the end. Probably telling you how to like read your birth chart and stuff like that. So that's really interesting. I'm definitely excited to read this. As I said, I did have a bookmark to start reading that soon. I'll probably read it once I get the Oracle deck. I'll probably do a study with them together, because that would be really interesting, actually. Then we have the 111 Oracle spreads for every day. Enhance your readings, spark your intuition, and deepen your connection with any card deck. This is by Crystal Banner, and I love this, mainly because, one, the focus is on Oracle. You can, however, use these spreads, obviously, with tarot as well, but I find that most of the time, spreads, when someone puts out a spread, they always focus on the word tarot rather than oracle, or they don't have like really a combination of tarot oracle spreads kind of thing. So I really love the fact that the focus was on oracle rather than tarot, though you can use this with tarot as well. So this retails for $14.99 in the US and $19.99 in Canada. It has 111 unique Oracle card spreads. It offers readers practical, insightful, and magic-infused spreads designed to unlock new insights and deeper wisdom in any Oracle deck, which is really cool. So let's take a look at table of contents. So we have a chapter on 1 card spreads, 2 card spreads, 3 card spreads. Then we have spreads for self-reflection and awareness, spreads for love and matters of the heart, spreads for business, career, and money, spreads for life changes and transitions, spreads for home and family life, spirituality and divine guidance, astrology, and planets. Now, I will tell you that after the 3 card, everything else after is either 4 cards, 5 cards, 6 cards, or above. Okay, so these spreads are larger after the 3 card. Once you hit chapter 4, they are all large spreads, or at least 4 cards and more, as you can see here. I actually did already recommend this a few times. I think the spreads are great. I love that they have sections for smaller spreads that you can use, as well as bigger spreads that you can use, and then specific topic spreads, which I know a lot of people really enjoy when we have spreads on specific topics. And I feel like the table of contents is really easy to use. So anytime you're looking for a spread, you just see what's there, you look at the page number, and you go to it. Right? Simple, easy, great to use, which is really great in my opinion. That way you don't have to have an index at the back. Most of the time, you need to have indexes at the back. So, because they're not usually grouped in the table of contents, or the table of contents is like short, so you don't really have the list of what's within that particular chapter. And with this, you have that list. So really all you have to do is go to the table of contents and then see what you want. We have a self-love spread, love language spread, very easy. And I think this was done well. I really like this, and I love spread books. Honestly, if you've been watching me for a while, spreads are life. I love them. Use them all the time. I think they're great. So to me, this is definitely a great addition to my book collection for me. Okay, then we have Healing Burnout with Astrology and Tarot. This is a journey through the decans of the zodiac. This is by Jackie Hope. Now, this one does have, I did actually start reading this, so it does have a bookmark already in it. I'm actually about to start this. Map the vision for your new life in your ascendant. So, yes. This is decan work. So if you're interested in decan work, I highly recommend the book from T. Susan Chang called 36 Secrets. That one is definitely great. And I would highly recommend using it in combination with this one. So if you are the type of person that suffers from burnout, this is definitely a great way to understand burnout in a way that encompasses things that you might really love, such as tarot and astrology, right? So you're going through every single decan, and burnout doesn't necessarily have to be within your practice, just so you know. This encompasses burnout in general. So it could be work, it could be life, it could be family, it could be anything, really. So far, what I've read up until now, I'm in... which decan? I'm in Aries decan, but which one? Yeah, I'm almost done actually with Aries, and then I'm about to start Taurus. So this is fantastic. Honestly, so far I've been really enjoying it. And this retails for $18.99 in the US and $24.99 in Canada. Again, this is one that I think I saw on sale at Hay House's website recently. I'm not sure if it's still on sale, but definitely check it out if you're interested. Then we have Aura Alchemy. Learn to sense energy fields, interpret the color spectrum, and manifest success. This is by Amy Lee McCree. This retails for $16.99 in the US and $22.99 in Canada. This is interesting. I haven't actually started reading this yet, but I thought the topic of it was interesting, so I did request it to read from Hay House, so I received a copy. It does talk about particle physics and spirituality, so it's like a collision of the two, which is really interesting. I did take physics in high school. I did fail physics in high school. Physics was never my strong suit. I understood practically nothing from that, but I thought it would be interesting to read, honestly. And I love learning new things, so I thought, why not, So here we have the table of contents. So we have understanding energy fields. Then we have seeing auras everywhere. Then we have your intuitive auric odyssey. So this pretty much talks about, the chakras and the color meanings and things like that. And then we have the cleansing electromagnetic fields. Interesting. And then we also have manifesting with auras. And then lastly, we have like a section on togetherness. So I guess it talks about auras interacting and group settings and things like this, and protecting your aura and stuff. So very interesting. Very interesting. Let's just see here. Seems like we have some charts. Look at that. So these are the meanings. Amy's medical intuitive color meanings. Very interesting. Then we have like different approaches to colors. So that's really cool. It's mostly text, which is fine with me. But yeah, I'm excited to read this eventually. I'll probably read this after the cosmic stuff that I've started reading. And then I'll probably pick this up because I think this is really cool. So yes. Okay, then we have 3 last ones, and they're all journals. So the first journal I'm going to show is this beautiful one here. It's from Louise Hay. It's called The Power of Your Thoughts. This is a guided journal for self-empowerment. This retails for $14.99 in the US and $19.99 in Canada. It's really cool, very colorful. We have different prompts throughout. There's obviously different subjects and things. I don't think there's a table of contents. No, it jumps right into it. So you have different things to begin in the beginning. You know, pretty much self-reflections and stuff in the beginning, and then as you explore further, it explores different areas and things of your life and self-empowerment and things like that. We have like personal relationships. I really like this because each section is pretty much colored in a way, and then you have a lot of text that you would read first. So it gives you like an understanding of what it is you're going to be doing. So it kind of gives you like an introduction in that way of what it is you'll be doing, and then you have like the prompt to actually do stuff. And I like the little mantras and stuff throughout. It's really nicely done, in my opinion. I now move into a new era of prosperity and abundance. Really cool. If you're looking for a nice little journal just to increase your self-empowerment, definitely recommend this one. It seems fun. It's not, boring. And it's not overly overwhelming either. Like, you have nice prompts, but you also have like times where you can like just meditate or like just read a few things and then maybe do the questions maybe the next day or something, or whatever it is. This one's talking about journaling about your meditation, which is really interesting in my opinion. And then with these little mantras, you can actually write these down, stick them on your mirror, say them to yourselves in the morning. It could be like a little ritual practice that you do for yourself. So I think this is great. It's a small little book. And it's pretty inexpensive. And again, Hay House probably has this on sale all the time. So definitely check it out. Okay, second to last one, we have the Sacred Clutter Clearing Journal. This is from Denise Linn, which, great. I love Denise Linn. I have several of her decks, actually, some of which are my favorites, such as the Sacred Destiny. That one's my favorite. She put out a new one recently, which I showed in my deck haul from Hay House, which was the Time Travelers, which is pretty cool. So I was actually excited that she released a journal. So yeah, so we have the Secret Clutter Clearing Journal. This is discover and release the emotional roots of your clutter and create space for abundance, joy, and growth. So yeah, that's really cool. Best-selling author of Sacred Space. I didn't know that she has a book on sacred space, but yes, we have here. It costs $16.99 in the US and $22.99 in Canada. So this is really cool. Let's take a look at this. We have a table of contents. So it's pretty much talking about, this is like cleansing in a way. Okay, you're cleansing your space, clearing it of clutter to create a space that's more sacred for you in a way. And I think that's really cool. If you're someone who really likes the aspect of cleansing and things like that, this journal might actually be very interesting for you. So we have, beginning your clutter clearing journey. It goes through different things. We have clearing room by room, which is really cool. And then clearing clutter from your life. which is nice. And then we have like a 14-day challenge type thing. So it's really interesting. There's like some questions and things, but there's also some things that you can read, some questions that you can ask yourself. You're pretty much Marie Kondoing it, but in a different way, in my opinion. So yes, we have an energy map here, which is really interesting. So this would be a great thing to do in the spring, in my opinion, like as a renewal thing for yourself. So I really like this actually. So we have a different 14-day challenge, clearing your space. We have some affirmations. Here is a bathroom, clearing clutter from your bathroom. It's like the room by room. This is your inner sanctum. Really cool. Honestly, I really like this. And that's so cool that they, Hay House did something like this with, now I'm interested to see what this book is and see if Hay House would be willing to send it to me, because that's really cool. Now, the last journal that I wanted to show is actually a shadow work journal. And it's this one called Embrace Your Shadow to Find Your Light by Nancy Levine. This retails for $16.99 in the US and $22.99 in Canada. Really cool. I have already gone through it a bit, and I really like it. So it actually goes over the following topics. You have awareness, you have surrender, responsibility, authenticity, resilience, nourishment, and wholeness. And you have some interesting things throughout. So we have a bit of an introduction in the beginning of what is shadow work, and all that stuff. And then you have stage 1. And it talks about the stage. And then you go into the journal stuff. So we have triggers and, different things, different questions to ask. What is my earliest experience with this quality? What are some of the beliefs I have formed because of it? Avoid, criticize, things like that. But there's also different meditations, and the meditations have a QR code that are actually linked to something. It's something you can listen to, which is really cool. So they have a bunch of these throughout the whole process with a bunch of different questions and things that you can ask yourself for every single topic that is within here. And I think this is actually a really cool shadow work journal. Honestly, I think they actually did a really good job with this one, because I'm always really picky when it comes to shadow work journals, but this one really took me aback when I flipped through it, when I got it. I was like, wow, this is really interesting. And I really like the topics that they chose to go throughout the book. And I just think they did a good job. So I'm excited to actually do this for me. So yes. So that was it for my Hay House book haul. I do thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of these particular books. Is there anything here that caught your eye? Anything you would pick up yourself? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below, no matter what. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Turn on that bell so you can be notified every time I post a brand new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it's greatly appreciated and helps me in the long run. Thanks so much, and I hope that you have a great day.